Okay. So as you can see on this Oracle website, we have
Yes,
access questions are there.
yes.
These are some questions are there that it be important from interview point of view. Sometimes they ask you in the interview, like
Okay,
the term instance variable known as what, class variable in what. So these are very basics and like basic questions that everyone should
yes.
know. And you can see the solution also. If you want to see that, you can check it from here, click on this check answer, and you can get the answer also,
Okay,
how you can do it. So these are the few questions that instance variable should also be called as a non-static field. The
okay,
instance variable means, what do you mean by that? Instance variable is your class variable, or you can say another, you can say variable that we declare in the class. Okay,
yes,
and objects and also they are also known as a non-static field. And the term class variable is another known as a static field. So class variable, what is mean by class and instance variable? Class variable means that you declare at the main function, like suppose here you can see it here. This is your class variable that you declare inside this main and all, right? But now
okay,
suppose if you create an object of the class, so inside that object, when you create a object as a variable, like suppose you remember like how you create an object, right? We create
yes,
only an object, like suppose the name of the class is suppose here question one. Okay, so you create like this q equal to new, and
question one.
yeah. So these are what, instance variable or class variable?
So this is instance.
Yeah, because it's a, because with the help of this q object, you can call any method or any variable that are declared in the class. Okay,
Okay,
so these all called instance variable. Means inside the object, this q will having a variable that we declare in the class. Okay, and this instance variable means another variable. You can, instance means a copy. Mean by that,
okay,
this is just like a alternate. You can say it like instance, a kind of having another variable. So it is an instance variable. Class variable means what, that you declare inside this main method like a static, and this method is already static, right? So you don't need to declare a variable like int static a like that, right? So class variable is what that you declare inside the class, and instance variable is something that you create additional variable in order to reference the class or in order to call those class. So these are the difference between those two. Okay.
okay,
Local variable store temporary state, it is declared inside a method. So as you know, whatever method, the parameter, or we have already seen what is the local variable and global variable, right? So local variable, suppose if anyone asks you what is a local variable, then the variable that you declare inside a method, okay, they are called as local. Now suppose if I say you this a
yes,
is local with respect to this main method, and
yes,
global is what, that can be accessible to the whole program. So you tell me, like suppose you can see just think like that. Now here this p and q or x and y, this is
yes,
global to common digit function.
yes,
Okay, and global means what, that can be accessible the whole code. Now suppose here if I declare it, suppose anything, you can declare it a is equal to 10, or you terminate it, right? So
yes,
this is called a global variable. This can be
okay,
accessible in this program also, and this can be accessible in the whole code. But the local variable is what, that whose scope, the scope means the existence, means they will be effective within this method only.
okay,
So you note down this point, or okay, let me add it here itself as a comment. Global variable is a variable that can be accessed. accessible from any point of view in the method, or you can say that is accessible from that are accessible to the whole class,
Okay.
just like this A. And
Yes.
what do you mean by this X and Y? These are local variable that can be whose scope is within this common digit function. Okay. So this is the difference between local variable and global variable. Now,
Okay.
another thing is here, what you mean by parameter, right? A variable declared within the opening and closing parenthesis of the method called a parameter. Okay, this
Yes.
you already know that
Yes.
parameter that we pass it. And
Yes.
what are the primitive data type? Do you know what is a primitive data type? What do you mean by that? Primitive data type is the data type that is available by default in all the programming language. Means this are not derived from any other data type. Like suppose if I say you uh, use the list array, so this list and array are called as a data type that you are using based on this data type, right? Means the array can be integer, right? uh,
Yes.
List can have store a value of string integer, right? But the
Yes.
basic data type, the primitive data type means the basic data type by using which you can create other another data type also, or you can say you can create other data structure like list, or in C++ like suppose structure union, or like array, right? So these all are
Yes.
primitive data types. So here this primitive data types are this one: byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean character. This kind of
Yes.
data types are available in all programming language because these are the primitive one, basic data types.
Yes.
Now, suppose if you want to use the string, okay, in your program, anything you want to, you can perform various operation on the string directly also. Just
Okay.
like we do it in an array list, right? We do the collection. So similarly, you can perform operation on the string data also. And for that, you need to import this library, Java lang string, and then you can perform finding the substring. You can perform reverse the string or like that.
Okay.
So these are the few terms that you should know about it. So I thought to just ex explain you. Now here, there was the question that you need to create a program and define some field. Okay, let's see first what was the question. Here they are saying create a small program, define some field, try creating some illegal field name, and see what kind of error the compiler produce. Use the naming rule and convention as a guide. So here it is just saying you so that you will get you will come to know. Okay, do you know like uh, what are the ways you can create a variable and what are the illegal variable name? Means that will give an error.
So starting by 9. So there was something I know.
Okay.
If you use underscore before starting that variable,
Yes.
or we use that, I think, number also.
Okay.
There was some I forgot, and you can only use that underscore only. You can't use that at the rate hashtag star.
Yes.
We will, yes. So that will be illegal.
So you said absolutely correct. Whatever the variable name, you it should be start with the character, and there should be no number. Means you can't start with a number. For example, here let's take example. Here, suppose if you declare a variable like int 1a, You can
Yes.
see it is giving error, right? It means you
Yes.
can't start with one name. Let's start up, take an underscore. So underscore won't give you error. Okay, you can take it.
Yes. I'm seeing about at the rate hashtag and
Yeah,
star, that type of.
okay. But suppose if I use at rate and a, then will it work?
Then
It will
no.
give an error. Correct. Hash, if you use it, it will stay give an error,
Yes.
right? Okay. Let me show you one more. Suppose if you
I
want,
think it can't end with the hashtag that underscore. I think
yeah,
that
wait, you
you
want to check?
int a underscore. Yes.
It's not giving any warning. It
It
can
is giving
underscore.
warning.
Sorry, it's giving a warning. The value of local variable
Okay. Is not used.
not used is giving warning because you are not using it. If I am going to print it, it won't give you error. Underscore work.
Okay.
If you give hyphen and all, then it will give an error.
Okay.
These things are very important. Even sometimes we get confused whether it will work or not. So that's why I thought to just add it in the class so that you. Okay, yeah. Now you tell me. Suppose you want to add a more double quote inside this. Like suppose this one. Can
Yes.
can you do it? Have you ever tried it?
Yes, we can do it.
How we can do it?
So there was some method, I think. You have to use maybe a slash.
Correct.
Slash. Yes.
Good.
So then we can.
Good. Where I will add a slash here.
Yes.
So see. So it means that whenever you want this, these are what do you mean by this slash? What is usually called escape sequence.
Okay.
These are called like escape sequence. With the help of this, you can print any statement with this double quote. Normally, why this give an error? Because your Java compiler they get confused that they think
Yes.
that why double quote is coming inside another double quote. So in
Yes.
order to make them clear, we need to add this slash.
Yes.
Okay. So this was the thing, and you're talking about the printing this value. Okay. Let's see this.
So this will not give any error.
Yeah.
Input. You have to provide input.
Yeah. To Bhavesh. Yeah, it's printed. Okay. I have not added this ln.
Or you can add slash and then
Yeah. Both are there. Yeah. To Bhavesh input and okay is working. So this thing you should know that with the help of escape sequence. So this slash n slash t, they are also
yes.
under escape sequence. Okay.
Yes.
Similarly, there is slash r is there, carriage return, slash f. The different escape character are there, but they are not
I
working.
don't know about that one. I know about slash and slash t.
Yeah, correct. Because they don't means nobody use that escape sequence. People normally use this one only slash n or slash t. Okay. Suppose
Okay.
if you want to print slash here, how you will going to do that?
Simply write slash.
No, means okay. You saying slash if you want to print it. Okay.
So in double quotes, between the double quotes, you would write slash. So that will print slash.
See, is it giving what error it is giving? Insert missing.
Missing.
So see, when I select this, it's giving this. Now, in order to do that, just add one more slash. Now see the error is removed, right? It means that
Yes.
if you want to print or if you want to use this slash, you need to use one more slash because
Okay.
Java won't consider the slash. So in order to make understand that
So
you
if we have to use two slashes, then Or then we have to use one slash more.
uh, two slash. Okay, you want to use two slash, then okay, let's take four slash.
Okay. So it should be an even number.
Yes, for one slash you need to add one more slash. So if you want to add two slash, then two into two, four slash.
Okay.
Because one slash means you can say in order to make valid this slash, you need to use one more slash, right? Just think it. Suppose this is a sequence one, two, three, and four.
Yes.
Okay. So four one is your slash. So in order to make it validate, you need to add three at slash means slash at three position. Now suppose there is one more slash at two. In order to print this, you need to add one more slash at one. So total
Yes.
four slash for
Four slash.
yeah. So and this is one more thing that we should know. Okay. So let's come to here. So same thing it is saying that try creating some illegal field name and try with that. So you can after the class just try this from this variable part. Okay. You might have
Okay.
practiced it, but just have a look on this variable part. So you will come to know what variable you can edit here. Okay. The next thing is they are saying try leaving the field uninitialized and print out their value. Did you try with that?
So that will not print anything. Number.
But here in this docs, they are saying that if there are some default value are there for any variable. Okay, there are some.
So that depends if it will print or not.
Yes, correct. There are some defaults values are there, and that depends on the compiler what value they will going to print. Like see here, byte zero, short zero, int zero, long zero l. So these are the default value, and this will be when you will going to use this. Okay, like if you
Okay.
create a variable and you are using in another variable, you have not initialized it. So by default value, they will use it null for string, for character this. So this thing you can try it. Take an value, declare a variable with byte and print it. It will give an error itself, but when you use this with another expression, then just check it whether it is working or not. So this thing you should know about it. What is the default value in Java? And this is the one line that I have given the whole explanation. You can read it. Local variables slightly different. Compiler never assign a default value to uninitialized local variable. So whatever the local variable is there, that will be remain uninitialized. You cannot initialize local variable where it is declared. And
Okay.
make sure that you assign a value before you attempt to use it. Accessing an uninitialized local variable will result in compile time error. Okay. So this is the whole brief idea they have given you about this uninitialized variable. They said you when you declare a variable and you want to only print it, in that case it will give a compile time error. But when you use this variable in another expression, then it depends on compiler what default value they will going to initialize it.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the terms that is written there. So this is the solution of this. You can see it here, the solution. When you click on this, you will get all the solution here. And
Yes.
always means either you can save it as a PDF or you note down somewhere or keep it with you so that you should be aware. Like in suppose if somebody asks you what's the another name of instance variable or uh, any question they ask you primitive data type, so you should know. In the GATE exam also it comes such kind of thing in the GATE syllabus or in the interview also in competitive exam. In the filling the blanks, they ask question like this.
Okay.
This question is most of the time they ask, what are the primitive data types in Java? So there are 8 primitive data types: byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean character. and this is available in most of the programming languages. This primitive data type. Primitive means old, which means that basic data type, which is already available. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So let's see some more exercise. Okay. So this is one more exercise. Based on this question, they're just asking you which operator does the code contain. So by looking into, do you see what are the different operator in this code snippet content?
Operator is greater than, and that addition one.
Correct. So just see this. Have you solved this before?
So we did only the first part,
Okay.
the primitive data types. The rest we didn't do.
Okay. Great then. And here the another question is, here they have initialized I is equal to 10 and n is equal to I increment mod 5. So what will be how you will derive the solution?
So
What is the value of I?
yes, so I will be 11.
How the I will become 11?
So first I is 10, and after that code is run. So I plus plus. So it will execute after the int n has, so the operator has assigned the value to n. So after that I will increment to 11.
Correct. Java normally do like this only. They will first perform, they will give priority to the operation first. They will first do the mod operation between this I current I value and
Yes.
5. So it will
But if we have used plus plus I, then it will become like, so it will first do addition, then do that uh,
yes,
operation.
yeah,
Then it will assign value to n.
yes. So here they will mod it and they will assign a value to n. Now here they want a value of I and n. So I value after
11.
assigning a value it will become 11 and n value as 10 mod 5 there is no remainder left when you divide
Yes.
10 by 5 so it is giving 0. Now similarly here what will be the final value of I and n if instead of
The
using
one I was saying,
yeah correct
prefix version plus plus I.
yes. So in case of prefix 1 it will increment the value first and 11 mod 5 will become 1 correct.
Yes.
Now the logical complement operator is what you remember this term logical complement operator the symbol
Yes.
that is used to
This
not
not operator.
yes not operator is also called as logical complement operator in and it is represented with this symbol exclamatory symbol.
Okay.
Okay. And the fourth one which operator is used to compare two value equal to or double equal to this operator is known
Um,
as
this is assigning assignment operator, and
yes
second is equal to.
yes. So the second is equal to operator that is used to comparison and
Yes, comparison. Yeah. Sorry. Equal to is first one only.
and the first one is assignment operator.
Yes.
It is used in case when you want to compare right hand side value, left hand side value. So
Yes.
it is a
If they are same or not.
yes. And the last one they are saying you, if suppose they give you this condition, then what do you mean by this? This is
So
what
if this is true, then the first value will be assigned, and if the condition is false, then second value will be assigned.
correct. So the if the first condition is true,
So the some condition is true, then the value one will be assigned, and if some condition is false, then the second value will be assigned.
okay. So here it is similar to the if condition. Okay. If condition if the condition true, then you will print this, otherwise this.
Yes.
Okay.
If
So,
else.
yeah. Suppose if I say if I is greater than 10 and I value is 11,
10.
then yeah, okay, whatever it is. So so if the condition true, then you will print the first value. Okay, it
Okay.
is similar to if condition, and then it is equal to second one, else condition.
Okay.
Okay, you can read
Yeah.
it from here also. Now
Yes.
now they are saying you change the following program to use compound assignment class arithmetic demo. Okay, compound assignment,
So they want to combine the two. Int
uh,
result 1
no,
plus 2, 3.
compound assignment is when you can you represent this in another term, this one short
So
representation.
int result is equal to 3.
uh, yeah, but suppose if you want to reduce the representation of this expression, do you know this that you can represent this in this way also?
Yes.
That is called compound representation of that symbol.
But for the first one, we have to use int result is equal to 3 only. You can't use compound.
Yeah, for first one we use that's only.
Yes.
For second one, where your left hand side and right hand
So
side is equal.
result minus equal to 1.
Yeah, so where both are same, there only you can use it. Means
Yes.
left hand side and right.
Where you are using that result two times.
Yes, correct.
Then you can.
So in that case, you will take the operator first, then this assignment operator and whatever value you want to assign. So this is called known as compound assignment. Remember this term. These terminologies are very important. This can be
Okay.
asked compound assignment. What is compound assignment? What do you mean by uh, increment, logical condition, logical or comparison operator? So this thing we should be aware. These things are easy, but means if we do not recall it or if we're not in touch, then we forgot it. So that's why I thought to
Yes.
just share. So here, can you just do the calculation and tell the value like how the coming? Just see this solution and try to
Yes.
understand. Just see this.
So the I is 3 and I plus plus I will become 4. And then 5,
Hmm,
then 6. And that is plus plus I. So it will mean 6 only. Then it will become 7.
correct. So here 3, then it's a post increment.
4. Yes.
So it will increment the value of I because you are printing I here. If there is
Yes.
an assignment, then in that case, uh, it would assign a value first and then increment.
Yes.
So here I value 4, then pre-increment as this increment operator is before. So I value is 5 here. Now
Yes.
here 6. Now here again I value you are printing. So it will be,
But you are post incrementing it.
yeah, here is a post increment. So here again it will print 6 and here it will become 7. So you
Yes.
absolutely find it out correct. Now let's come to this another question and exercise here. Operator may be used in building dash which compute value. These are some questions. Let's see this. So here operator may be used in building dash which compute value. So in which symbol we use it. Suppose this is one. Okay. Wherever we
Okay.
use, they are called as an expression. In mathematical term, we call it as an expression. For example, here, this is one program I made. Okay, in on the basis of your latitude and longitude value, latitude
Okay.
value, longitude value, we will going to find out the distance between 2 points. So this is called as an expression, mathematical expression that will give you some value. So whatever mathematical operation we do it, they call as an expression.
Okay.
Okay, formulas and all. We don't call it as a formula or like a mathematical question, but the more standard term is expression. Solving expression with the help of Java. or with the help of math library, string library, or whatever it is, they call is an expression. So that's why here they ask you the question, and they said you like the question was this one: operator may be used in building dash which compute value. So obviously it's a kind of expression, you can say.
Yes.
Expression are two. Expression are the core component of what?
Statement.
Correct. So statement, the core component means the statement, like whatever we want to run it. And when you combine this statement, it will become block or a function.
Yes.
Okay. Function means also a group of statement that you reduce your task. Like, and block in the sense same thing, means you can say this is as a block, a group of statement that you have written inside the function. Uh,
Yes.
this distance between latitude.
Or you can also say that if else is also a block.
Yes, if else is a block. Whatever you write inside the curly brace, then it will call as a block. This curly brace is representing one block. Why? Because it is the starting of the block, it's the ending of the block. And inside these two curly braces, you have a set of statement.
Statements.
So these are called as a block. That's why we call as if and else block. Why we call as? Because you declare if condition, and within the
Yes.
curly brace, you write a statement that if the condition true, then you will going to print it. Otherwise, you print else block. That is,
Yes.
and the final one is your following code snippet example compound expression. So that's, it compound expression like
How this is compound.
no, this is not the example of compound expression
But it
here.
is saying the following code snippet as an example. The following is 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, but here this is with respect to same kind of operation when you are doing between the number of values. Like here, you are performing into between these two, then again you are
Yes.
doing this two. So compound is actually means combining here. This is a different compound expression. That was, I think, compound. 1 minute, let me check it. Okay, that was compound
Assignment.
assignment. That was expression is different.
Okay.
Assignment means when you use it like this short representation, and
Yes.
compound
Yes.
expression means when you have a similar kind of expression. Like if I write it I plus z plus x, so it is a two statement you can combine it. Are you getting what I'm saying? Like suppose
Yes.
you have like a plus b, one more expression you have b plus c, and okay, so here you are combining a plus b, and you are
So you can write A plus B plus C.
good,
B plus C. Yes.
correct, very good. So this is called a
But 2B1 will not come. So
no,
you're writing.
2b, no, means that won't
So
come.
one B for A, one B for C.
No,
So
he,
two
it
B.
is it is something like they suppose a plus b. So a is suppose 1 and b is your 2.
Yes.
So it will give you
So that will be 3.
3.
And if you assume B is 2 and C is 3, that will be 5. So 8.
Just 1 minute.
See, if you are using like this,
No, no. It will be something like this. Means
I can. So
no,
if you're using like this,
no, no. It's not like that. It means that suppose a and b you are adding, okay,
so
and
A plus B is equal
yeah,
to maybe like C.
yes,
And if you are in next line writing E is equal to
it will be something like
C plus D, then it will become sense to add like simply like A
this.
E is equal to A plus B dot plus D.
Yes. Here actually this a plus b you have, and you want to add some more addition on that, then that will be a compound one. Means
Okay.
you can have
Yes, yes,
that actually mean the compound. Like suppose the
yes,
example they have given 1 into 2, right?
yes,
And you want to into more data to it, 3,
yes,
it to the result of this. You said correct.
yes,
So then you can do it instead of Doing two means suppose you said correct, like suppose a is equal to 1 into 2, then you can take it a into 3 also, but
Yes, yes.
same thing you can do it like this.
1 into 2 into 3 is equal to A, or A is equal to.
Yes. So this is called as 1 into 2 into 3 called compound expression. This is different from,
Compound assignment.
yes. So this was the example here. Okay. And where we were, yeah, this one, right? Yes. Yeah. And the terminate symbol, some people they says you the terminate operator, but actually it's semicolon. This one, most of the people they say terminate operator because it's a termination of the statement. It's
Okay.
semicolon. Both you can say it. If even if you use interchangeably, they won't say you means it's not wrong because in C language we say terminate and semicolon both we say it. So here also they said like that.
Okay.
A block is a group of zero, and this also as I already mentioned you, right? This line you read it. So whatever we have seen earlier that I mentioned you within the curly braces, same thing is written here. So braces is a starting or opening of a group of a statement, and the statement can be any number, whether it is a zero or a more than statement.
Okay.
And how you can identify what kind of expression statements are there or what kind of statements are there. You can see this is called assignment
Yes.
statement. This one is your increment one, you are doing an operation. This one is
Yes.
called a invoke method invocation statement because you are calling this system out. Println is one function defined in Java whose work is to print any value that is defined within this double quote. Okay, so they are
Yes.
invoking, and a compiler will going to check it whether this syntax is written correct or not. And this is called
Okay.
object creation statement, that is invocation means sorry, instance variable that we created,
Yes.
additional variable you created inside the class. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, so let's see some more exercise on the same. uh, on this part here.
So you have course on Udemy also.
Yeah.
So what it is name? Python introduction.
Yes, with the data analysis.
Oh,
So here you can see this. There are some set of questions are there here, which based on the if condition. They're asking most basic control flow statement supported by Java programming is a dash statement. So according to you, which one is most easy for you and most easy to implement? That you feel, according to you, which is most easy you feel? Either you feel if condition, nested if else,
so if else yes, only
just check it.
if then.
It's saying,
What is if then?
yeah, if then. If then is like same thing, means if condition you check if like suppose if grade is greater than this, then print is, otherwise another if condition. So there is no else part here.
Okay.
If then condition means same, like a different condition you write it. Like if grade is greater than 90 A plus, if grade is that is most easy one. If else will be if an else block. If else if is like a else if and if else, and there is a nested if also. But the most easy one is if then, that is means same if condition.
Okay.
Okay. Then there is a switch statement when you want to when a single variable having a multiple value. Have you worked on switch statement?
Switch, yes.
Sorry, I did not heard.
Yes.
Okay. So like how this variable having a value means
So
usually
you write switch and in bracket you write that
correct.
value.
So that
So
yes,
in which case it matches that statement that's executed.
correct. So what is an advantage of the switch statement?
So when that matches, the statement matches and the code is executed, it comes out of that switch statement. It doesn't run all that statement, I think.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So it means that whatever the matching case with that particular case value, that will be
Yeah.
executed. And why we use it? Because we have a multiple value of that case. Suppose you want to check it for 1 to 100, then
Mm.
it was like writing if this variable value 1, then this condition, they will occupy more right space. And so instead of using that if condition, we use switch, that is computationally inexpensive, and you can do it in an easier way. You just need to remember few syntax.
Okay.
Do while statement is similar to while statement, but the only difference, it, right? That condition is added in the end.
Okay.
Okay. And how do you write the infinite loop in for loop? If you do not declare anything here, no condition, no
Yes.
initialization,
So it will go on forever.
correct. Similarly for while
Okay.
loop, if you just initialize true here, then it will be run infinite. True means condition is always true.
Yes.
What else you can assign here so that it will run infinitely?
False.
No. In case of false, the condition will be false, right?
So
And
if you do not write anything, you pass it like this only.
you can use one also there. Okay.
Oh,
In place of,
yes.
okay. And zero
Yeah.
also. Zero means what? False.
So
Zero,
why we can't use false then?
no, no. Zero means I mean to say that in place of this, you can assign one or zero both. Means not for infinite. In place of true and false, you can use 0 and 1 also. But for
Okay, okay,
infinite one, you need to
okay.
use
Yes.
1. So here you can treat it like true equal to 1 and false equal to 0.
Zero.
So when you will pass a value true equal to 1, it will be run forever, because one is it considered one as a true condition true, and false
Yes.
in place of false, if you assign 0, then they think that this condition is false. So
Okay.
this thing you can try it. And if you do not assign any value, then I'm not sure about it, but whether it will run or what, or whether infinite. But I think it should run in. Uh,
But you can check. It will
yeah,
take 1 minute.
yeah, we can do it.
Or you can do it on online GDP also.
Yes, let me run this and try it in Eclipse itself. Let's see.
I was about to ask you if you don't want to
Sorry.
public static.
Yeah, yeah.
If you will not write the public static void main,
Yeah.
bring the argument.
Okay, let's check it first. System.out. Type cannot convert from into the boolean. Okay, let's
So one also doesn't work.
just 1 minute.
That is not working only. Cannot convert A to Boolean.
Yeah, yeah. But it will work. I have done work. Yeah, I think in Python it works in Python.
But why in while condition we can pass anything,
Yeah,
or we can only pass true or false.
yeah,
I did it with C++. We can pass anything.
yeah.
So why this is saying that you need to pass in Boolean only in while.
Yes, we can pass anything here. But in case if you do not pass, then it means I think we need to check it.
Okay. Yes. So this will keep on running. So I did something which in that was saying that if you don't close, it will occupy your heap memory.
Yes,
I
yes.
think there was something. So
Yeah,
you need to close that.
yeah. It will occupy heap memory and it will terminate automatically. It's not like means it will occupy heap memory forever. It will occupy heap memory until the heap memory have a space. Once it
Yes.
occupy, your program will terminate only. Means it won't
So
print. Yes.
so it will not permanently store itself into that memory.
No, not at all. It
So
will.
why they say to close that heap memory? I think so.
Yeah.
So why they say?
Yeah, this is because it will occupy the space. Then if another program that depends on this code is working, they will not be able to execute. Like suppose just like if you have a RAM of 2 GB and
Yes.
one program itself, they occupy 1.5 GB, and if you want to run a program that is more than 1 GB, then will it be able to run? No, right? So you have to
Okay.
close some programs. So that's why they said it that you need to close it.
Okay.
So now let me close this project and see whether it's not giving me the option itself. It's running. We can stop it from here.
Okay.
This thing you can do it in Eclipse. If you run it in
Yes, I know.
Notepad, then it will run forever. You have
So
to,
in Notepad.
yes, means if you tried in a Notepad in command prompt, it will print continuously. In DOS, you might have faced the situation. In C language, when you were running such running program, there it is
Yes.
difficult to execute. You need to quit or you need to exit it,
Yes. Yes.
pressing escape button. It should work because the let me show you because I have done this in Python. I think they take it one. I don't know why it's not taking. Let me check it once again because I create one program for spelling check in Python. There it was working. That's why I thought that it should work here itself. Let me show you. See, are you able to see the code?
Yes.
Here I have assigned t is equal to 1 and here I am running this. And it was working fine when I was running this code. It was working fine. And based on this t value, t means 1, which is means yes. So it was continuously running. And as I
Okay.
was assigning 0 here, in this,
Yes.
it was executing. So I thought that it was supporting Java also, but here you need to take the Boolean data type and pass the value. Okay, let's take the false and check.
Terminated.
Yes.
Condition is true.
Let's take this statement. Let's try with by Bhavesh if he not run. Yeah. So suppose if this not run, then we can edit one more statement and we can check it. So false means it won't run and true means it will run.
But we can give Boolean value of one also.
Boolean value of 1 also means
So if you assign Boolean a is equal to one, so Boolean can accept that value.
mm, it
Where
means
it is not accepting only.
no Boolean value can't accept 1 because Boolean only accepts two value, true and
But I have done in C++, it accepts
it might be
one not
accept
zero.
there, but in Java Boolean holds only two value. Let's show see here. The Boolean data type has only two possible value that is true and false. Use the data type for a simple flag, track, true, false condition.
Okay.
So don't means allow one.
Okay. But we have used in C++.
Yeah, that's only the
So you can use 0 and 1 in Python also.
yeah 0 and 1 we can use in Python. That's why I've shown you the
No, with Boolean.
uh, Boolean. No
Yes,
Boolean.
with Boolean.
No, I don't think it that in Boolean. Let me check it once. Mm, okay, 1 minute. Where is my Python project? Okay, let me check it. The Python project I am running it and I can see whether it is working.
Okay.
Python project also you can run on the command prompt. You can run it. If you want, you can use IDE. Both are valid. One minute. Okay, it won't run. I need to run on the Google Colab. Okay, no, I'm just showing you. Give a minute.
Okay.
This is actually Google Colab is a cloud. Jupyter. Have you heard about Jupyter Anaconda?
No.
It's actually it's a plate. It's a platform, or you can say a software that we
Yes.
need it in order to run the programs. So suppose you want to run the Python code, then with the help of this Google Colab, you can run it. It's actually the service that is provided by the Google. It's a Colab service. It's like a cloud service where you can run the code. Like they will provide you the platform. I will copy this code and I will run it.
Okay.
You just need to have a login with the mail ID and then you can run. In order to run, you can just click here. This is actually the spell check program, means it will going to check the spelling, whether it's the spelling that you will going to enter or a word that will going to enter, whether it is correct or not. So here I have written this t value I assign 1 and I'm checking whether t is 1. So let's suppose you enter a value. Suppose instead of word, you write WDR. Let's check whether this present or not. So it's showing that this is word is this one. Then they are asking whether you want to continue or not. Okay. But the question was, suppose
So how it can check this?
with the help of this library, text block
Okay.
is library that will going to read a string and it will make a correction on that, and based on your input it will run. So I have assigned
So
t
it's such a small code.
here. So here I have assigned to t is equal to true. I don't think whether it is work because the Boolean means Python is a dynamic data type. We don't need to
So if we write t is equal to 1,
t is equal to 1 it support. That's why here when I write t is equal to 1 it was working. This was essentially giving an error. Let me run this once again. So it is running right when I'm giving t is equal to 1. 1 is taking
okay.
as a true. But suppose if I take it as a true and want to check it, let's see. Let me try once again. It is giving error. True is not defined.
Okay.
Or let me try here.
So
If
you can't write boolean.
no, Python is a dynamic data type, so we don't have a boolean and all. We don't need to write anything here.
So there are no primitive data types only.
No, primitive data types are there, but we don't
So
need to.
boolean is also a primitive data type only.
Yeah, but you do not miss. You are not getting what I'm saying. I'm means what I'm saying, like you don't need to add here like this int, or you don't need to add boolean. Are you getting what is the difference in these two language? That
Okay.
it's a dynamic type. We don't need to add here. Suppose if you
Okay.
declare like
So so compiler is so smart that it can recognize if it
correct,
is
correct. That's why it's called dynamic data type. Means here
okay.
when you can type like this a is equal to 3 and you can run it. Let me show you.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
It was t, I think.
Mm, yeah, here it's t. Sorry. Okay, sorry, what happened? Oh, sorry. Here I have to. Yeah. Suppose you want to use, suppose a is equal to 2. Okay. And
Yes.
you want to run, it will run. You don't need to write integer before this.
Okay.
Okay, just wait. Actually, this is running on the Colab, so it is taking time based on your internet speed, it will work. And this is already running. That's the reason. Let me enter any word. Yeah. Now I don't want to continue, so I will press it. Now it will run because it was pending. Yeah, you see here. A is equal to 2 when I run, it's run. But if you write like this, int a is equal to 2, it will give an error because it's not a static data type, a static type programming language where you need to define every time what value they will hold. Okay, let me comment the first one and let me run it.
So
So
here you use hashtag.
yeah, hash is comment. Just like in Java, we use this slash, right? Here we
Yes.
use hash. So if you see, when I add integer, it is giving error invalid syntax. Now, if I remove it, and if you want to find it out, what is the type of A, how you can do it, print type def A, and you run this. Oh, sorry, type of. Okay. I think I understand it. Just 1 minute. See here, it is printing class int because the value that you have initialized to this A is of integer
Yes.
type. Similarly, if you want to initialize, suppose 90, and you will run it again,
Double.
it will show you float double
Why not double?
because here it supports value more than means 6 digit also in the Python. Means in Java actually the thing is that like after decimal you can initialize a six value. So it depends on your Python what value they are taking. Let me take it some other value. 5. Let's take some big value and check it. So it is giving float only this one because it can dynamically finding out the type of this A as a float. It can hold more than 6 digit also in this Python language.
Okay.
Okay. Similarly, if you want to assign any string value, suppose Bhavesh, and you will run it, it will show you it's of a string type str. So this was the thing in Python, and we were solving this, right? Sorry, where we were. Yeah. So this while we come to know that we can use only Boolean here. In Java doesn't support one or zero. Okay.
Okay.
They only support true and false. Boolean data type having only two value, that is your true, and another one is false. So you can use only true and false in here. Okay. And this thing
Yes.
here, this is a nested if. There is, you can see if condition inside another if, and they will only going to ask you what will be the output. So based on the a number, whatever the value of this decision can be made. So suppose they are saying you, suppose a number is 3. So is 3 is greater than true, 3 greater than 0, condition true. Is 3 is equal to 0, condition false. So it means that you will come inside, you will print this second string. Okay.
Okay.
And once you are done with this block, you will print this one. Okay, this is not a part of this if and else. So this one obviously it will going to print here because this is with respect to this one. Okay, here
Okay.
you are checking once this condition true, you will check this one. If this not true, you will print this else part. And what about this one? This is with respect to the outer loop, that is what this one. That's why it will print after this. So that's why it's coming second string and third string. You can try this remaining question and let's see whether you are able to understand or not on this. So will you able to try as an assignment these questions?
Okay.
And
So I have to write or only.
no, no need to write it. Just have a look on this and just see whether you are able to get the flow or not. Means
Okay.
they have given you the instruction, like
Yes.
test the program, and if you want to write it, you can write it down also.
Okay.
Okay. And this one here, so these are some few programs that I made it. They are like an mathematical expression and see the pattern one. Okay, so the pattern one is a logic, not necessary that you need to write a for loop, nested for loop. I told you in one class, whenever you want to print a pattern, you need to use nested for loop or nested loop, right? But
Yes.
you can print it a pattern based on system out print also.
Okay.
Okay, if there's nothing is mentioned, you can apply the logic. You can do it here also. This question was usually asked in the one interview, and everyone was trying with the loop. They thought that it is asked in the interview, so might be the complex one, but the question was just print the pattern. So only few of
Okay.
them they understood that printing a pattern means they can do it like this also. So here actually this is
Okay.
the face image. Let me show you
So
running.
you did like you did it like this.
No, no, that's the reason I was showing you like it.
Okay. So
I
you were
thought,
also using loops.
yes, I was also thinking like the company was big, so means I thought that it was usually asked in company that's Snap SAPLab. SAPLab is one
Okay.
IT company there in Bangalore. They asked the question, print a pattern. So I thought that means they are asking in the this interview, so it might be the loops only. So I tried with this in the loop, and I was not able to do it with the for loop and all. Within half an hour, then two and three question they clear it and they got selected. Um, Company
Okay.
visited in the SAP NIT when I was in NIT at that time only. SAP lab they visited, so they took this question. They asked this question. So I just thought it
Okay.
to share my experience with you so that you will also come to me. Like it's not necessary to use a for loop all the time. Just read the
Yes.
question what they say. One more way of printing this, you know how we can do it with the help of array also.
Okay.
Declare a string. Okay, use the string
So
array.
they showed you after the interview how to solve it, or you asked someone.
No, when the result when they declare the result, uh,
Yes.
out of this 15 CSC student, only 5 student they qualify. So I asked to them like how you solve it. So they told me that in the interview they said to solve in this way because they solve like this way only.
Okay.
So remember this thing means try to read a question what they ask and they then based on that you can try it. They solve
Yes.
in both the ways. So it was in my uh, hard disk. This program was there, so I thought to share with you.
Okay.
See, here they have declared a string array, and you know, right? In we have did in the last class also that in array it take a group of words, right? So here
Yes.
to this zero index they have assigned this. It is something like your hair. It is something like your eyes, nose, your lips, and the end of the face.
Chain.
Yeah, chin. And once they initialize it, they have just printed in a simple for loop.
Okay.
It's very simple solution, right? I was trying,
Yes.
I was trying to take nested for loop and all, but I was not able to create a human face. It was becoming a animal face, and that's why I thought to share. You can try it. I will share this code also with you. Okay.
Okay.
This too, you can try it. It's very simple. After that, this is a math program. This also, I think you will be able to do it easily. In this actually see in means latitude and longitude like means in a earth if you have a
Yes, I know.
yeah
Like let it along. Yeah.
yeah, so suppose if I give you two coordinate x1 y1 x2 y,
Yes.
so how we can calculate a distance, same thing is doing here. So
Yes.
here this is one function we have created for value. I will going to pass as a parameter, and this parameter will be read in the form of radian because with the help of this radian math library having one radian function. So whatever, suppose you value insert, obviously you are going to enter a value as a double here, right? Let me run this.
Hmm.
I have added a here way how you can add a output also. and this is the logic. Okay, I have added both the things. So in case suppose if anything is not clear, you can go through it.
Yes.
So suppose the first coordinate is 25, then 35, then third 52.90, and suppose 87.65. So when you will do it, it will first convert this 4 value into the radian. Then based on that, the earth radius is this much kilometer. Okay, one
Okay.
value we have taken, and then this is one the function that we have used. It's looking complex, but it's very easy. I have you can if you go through this formula, you will understand. Radius into this, okay, arc cos value, sin x1 into sin x2 plus cos x1 into cos x2, cos y1 minus y2. So don't go in the deep how this expression comes. Just think that how you can use this expression. With the inside this math library, there is some function like sin. Sin is for sin theta, cos is cos theta,
Yes.
arc. You can calculate the arc value also, arc cosine. So there are such kind of method are available that you can use it.
Okay.
Okay, so you can have a look on this, and then one more program is there. It will ask the user to enter a value and then check whether the user having any matching number or not. Like, let me run this and show you. Suppose you enter a value 34. Sorry, I think I have run it. Okay, not this one. This one actually. This one was the program based on the matching of a number. Okay, so user will enter one number and second,
Okay.
and then you need to check whether what is a common digit, whether common digits exist or not. So
Okay.
here I have created one method, common digit. I pass a two value. Okay, that will be uh, two value, whatever that p and q. Okay, first let's run this. Let's take 67 and 7 8. So it is having a
Okay.
common number 7.
7.
Okay, but it is giving false. 1 minute. I think let me check it. Okay, p and q. P is less than 25. Okay, 25 to 75. Okay, let's run this.
So why this is there? 25 to 75.
I just added it while solving when I was applying logic, so I just thought to take value in that range only. So it was working. Let's see this. If not, then I can modify this code.
7.
Okay, let
7 and 68.
first value is what?
67
7.
and 67 you can take.
It was taking false. Right, taking false.
Oh,
P.
greater than
Oh, okay,
75.
okay, sorry. Yeah,
But it is or. You can take P is less than.
1 minute. Let P is
Okay.
less than 25. So let's take it
So,
21,
yes.
and Q is greater than 75.
So less than 75. 61.
61. Okay, let's take. No, here it's saying Q is greater than 75, so it should be greater than that. 91, we can try it. So
Then also it will return false only.
let's check it. Okay, value should not be in that range. Okay, let's take 34 and 43. It's showing true, right? 34 P is, yeah,
Less than. So you took 21. So that's why it was showing error.
yeah. Actually, this one was actually one question was there in some code snippet, so I saw it. So there, this condition was there, and they said to apply the logic. So this the body was not there. I added the body. So based on this, I have used this logic. So that's why I think that's why based on this condition they have made means this logic was working. Now you can see suppose 34 mod 10 will give you 4. 43 mod 10 will give you 3. When you divide it p divided by 10, that is 34, when you divide it by 10, it will be piece of integer type, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So it will be 3 and q will be 4, right? So you are going to check
Yes.
it here. Is p is equal to q or p is equal to y? And here we have used OR condition. So if any of
Yes.
condition match, then it will be true. Otherwise, it will return false. So return false in the case when this condition do not match.
Okay.
So what here the OR operator we have used, it means that if any of this condition do not match, then it will be true, right? So it means that you need to
But if you remove that condition also, then also it will work, I think.
remove condition. Which one? This one.
Yes.
Then
So you
how
remove everything only from if to return false.
this whole you're saying?
Yes.
Sorry.
I think it should work.
Yeah, it's working.
So there is one condition only, that number should be 2 digit
Yes.
or 1 digit also. Maybe I think. It,
Yeah.
it will work properly in 2 digit only.
Yes. Actually, this condition why they have added because this code was running on some platform, Hacker Earth or Hacker Rank. So there, if you take a suppose bigger value, there actually see running code in Eclipse is different than running code in a platform. So there in platform, what is there? There you need to check it for every test case. It's not like we were checking on one or two, right? So their test cases is run by the machine only, means your software itself. So there they bind some value. So that's why they have added a condition here, so that whatever value that is meeting this criteria will run or will be true. Okay, what do you mean by this? When we run on the platform, then in that platform, we have a memory and processing restriction, right?
Yes.
You might be have seen the lead code or some. Have you seen that lead code or any platform coding platform?
No.
Okay, you
We
have
will
done
see.
IntelliJ, right? You have done
Yes.
work on IntelliJ. So in IntelliJ, if you are adding a value other than the solution, it was giving you a warning, right?
Yes.
Because that was a machine program. Means if you enter any value other than that, then it will give error. So this logic actually was added by your program itself, and they asked me to enter this one. So I have added this logic there. But it's good that you have uh, means correctly find it out that if we can do it without this also, because here we are passing a value and based on that it's checking it. But suppose if you want
Okay.
to restrict the value based on certain condition, then we can use it. So it's good. You can try it that also. I'm adding this comment. I'm adding a comment here. You can try it when you will. Sorry. Yes. So when you will going to practice it, just run this code one or two time and try to make a changes here in place of or try with AND operator and see whether its code is running or not. But you said absolutely correct. Without this also will run.
Yes.
So this is few programs, and one more we have seen this while one, and yeah, this one. This one is actually program which the user will going to enter a second, and it will give you in the format of hour, minute, and second. So this
Okay.
program you can do it. Here also we have a logic of creating the second, minute, and you know that if you mod it by second, it will give second. If you divide by
Yes.
60, it will give you minute and hour.
So ours should be 3600,
No,
not 60.
it should be any means you will only going to
Okay,
enter.
so you are doing with P2. Okay.
Yes, because I'm entering second. Here.
3600.
Yes, okay, let's take 3600. So it will give you 1 hour.
Yes.
So let's run this. Sorry. I,
So
I
you have run it again. You need to enter it.
yes, yes. So one is for your hour, zero is for minute,
Yes.
and zero is for second.
I think there should be two zeros.
Yeah, you can.
One zeros. It looks so good.
So you can add it here like let's see 1 minute. P minute P3, right? So
So it
P3.
will not end in zero.
No, it will not be adding zero here. If I add a zero plus, then it will all the time add zero. We need to work on. Okay, let me check it. But it is giving zero because zero is coming, right? But if it is
Yes.
value, okay, let's try with other one. I think when we will try for other, it will come 2 digit only. It's coming right to here.
Yeah.
I need to check it. Okay, let's take some bigger value. Tell me any value.
18,420.
18,400. Let's see, it's a value. Take any big value.
So
Anything
18,000. So we can take
because we are accept.
40, 42,963.
Okay, yeah. Now here's it might become some value because
So you can take 64 instead of 63.
yeah. Okay, let's take it.
42964. 42964.
It is giving 4. Okay,
Okay, so we need to add
can,
6.
yeah. Let me.
So 42970. 42971.
Okay, 4297.
71.
Yeah, it's giving. So based on the value it will giving because we are using mod and division. So based on that it's giving the hour and all. So like suppose you as you know that right. Suppose if you divide 6 by 3, if come 2, then it won't show you 0 2, right? It will show you 2. We need to look into the
Yes.
logic that how we can add it. If the number is less than 10, then we will going to concatenate or we will going to add append or we just need to concatenate 0 before that. So you
We
can add,
can write if else condition maybe.
yes, that's only asset.
So you can write if P1 is less than 10.
Yes,
So P1 I think you can do it.
yeah, we can do it. Here, if we write P1 here in this step, then we can
But
get,
how we can add 0 in front of a
no,
number?
you just need to print it here. Here we are printing, right? So here
Yes.
you can add a if condition and you can check it if P2 is less than 10, then you will going to print P2 value. You can print separately P2 value.
Okay.
You can print P2 value with the addition of 0, else P2 value. So
Okay.
P2 value block, then you can try it for, then you can print it P
Yes.
P3 like that.
Yes. So we have to make three conditions. I think.
Yes. So it will,
So one for P2, one for P3. So there will be four conditions. So if both are greater than 10, if both are less than 10, or if P2 is less than 10, or if P3 is less than 10.
yeah, we need to write for that. But it will make a code more complex. But we can achieve.
But we can try. It will not take 4 or 5. It will take maximum 4 or 5 lines.
Yes.
So I'll try that.
Okay. So means you want to try it.
Yeah, so I will try.
Okay, you can try it. And let me know like whether you are able to do it. Otherwise, you ping on the Trello. I will solve it,
No,
and in the next class, I will show you the solution. So today,
I know how to solve it now.
okay,
I will do
yeah, Miss, I just said like in case if you stuck somewhere and
it.
you need, so you can discuss. So here we have seen, I think, a lot of exercise question we have done. I think we should start some new module. So you want to continue some more exercise, or we can go with new module?
We can go with new modules.
Okay, so from next class onward, I will see the new module we will start.
I think there is nothing left, or maybe one topic left.
Uh, in the course, I think
Next,
lamp.
next is lead code also, lead code questions.
Yes, but this one is also present. I think it's in your syllabus or not. I'm not sure. This one, lambda and all. Is it there in your syllabus?
Lambda, I think it was,
J shell, lambda.
I think it was there.
This one,
Yes.
lambda expression, exception handling, modular design, J shell. This four module we are left, so we can start with any of this in the next class.
Okay.
Okay. So I will upload this code after this class. The whole zip file I will going to upload it. So I have a
Yes.
just practice on this question. So we can start in the next class the new module.
Okay.
Okay then. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah. Take care. Welcome.